feel like these walls talking to me. When you've been in the office all day, you start going crazy.
What is up, guys? It is your boy Devin, and I'm back again with the follow-up video for the first video that we talked about, saying I quit my corporate job. This video is titled "Why I Quit My Corporate Job" or "Why I Quit My $60,000 a year job." All right, so got to give you guys a little background, like I promised. When I was in college, went to University of Akron here in Akron, Ohio. It was the school that was closest to me. It was the school throwing the most scholarship money at me, so I took it and ran with it. So a little bit more backstory. We might as well rewind a little bit more. I went to a high school called Akron Early College High School, and basically the purpose of the high school was to get kids whose parents didn't graduate from college with a bachelor's degree into college and to graduate high school with an associate degree, so that it would be more likely for us to continue on and go get our bachelor's, right? So anyways, went to that high school, graduated high school with 2 years of skin in the game of college. So ended up graduating high school, continued at the University of Akron, ended up getting a full ride scholarship, which I was fortunate for. God put me in the position, but I worked hard for it. He gave me the skills to work hard for it. And basically I was able to get really good grades. I scored like a 25, I think, on the ACT, and that enabled me to get a full ride scholarship to Akron. So while a lot of my friends were jumping ship, going to Ohio State, going to Ohio Northern, going to University of Kentucky, while everybody was doing what they wanted to do, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this free money and I'm going to Akron. So went to Akron. Like I said, I basically walked into my freshman year as a junior in college. So my junior year, that year we had a career fair and I was a sales management major. So I majored in sales in the business department. And I went to the career fair, found the company that I ended up working for. And like I said, I'm not gonna mention the name of the company. If you really care to find out, think strategically, maybe go to Google, look me up, and you probably will be able to find the information that you're looking for. But like I said, I'm not going to mention the name of the company because, like I said, I have nothing bad to say about the company. The company gave me an awesome experience, and I'm just basically speaking upon my happiness level in my personal life. So, found that internship, ended up doing the internship between my junior year and senior year of college. Loved it. But I loved it because it was real world. It gave me real world experience, and I really liked some of the things that I was gonna get from it. You know what I mean? Like everything has its, you kind of gotta get some things from it. So they gotta strategically kind of pull you in, and they were smart with what they did. So ended up staying part-time with the company my last year of college, and then I started full-time in my role as a sales rep once I graduated from college in spring of 2018. So started in my role, and life basically changed in a matter of seconds. Like, I graduated from school, and that next week I was given a brand new 2018 Toyota Camry SC, white. They let me tint the windows, so I was, pulling up, looking good. They gave me a company cell phone, and they gave me a company laptop. So here I am. I'm 20 years old at the time, because remember, I graduated from high school at 18. I only had 2 more years left of college. So I'm 20 years old, and my life is changing before my eyes. And I'm looking around, and I'm looking at, family members of mine who went to college, but last time I checked, they didn't get opportunities like the one I'm getting. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, success was just hitting me. And, it was a lot of success, and it all happened like very fast. So everything was good for the first couple months, and, I'm starting to get sales, and I'm getting sales out there, and the customers are, saying good things about me, and, everybody's enjoying to work with me. And a couple months into my role, the car, the new car feeling, how it is when you get a new car, like, and if you've never gotten one, let me tell you, you will be on cloud 9, because it is a surreal experience. You get this new car, and it's like, you're the first one that's ever drove it. And I don't know, it's just like a crazy feeling. So I got that new car, and, when I first got it, it was like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. Like, I got a new car, like, I'm out here, like, but after a couple months, everything sort of just died down, and it was like, okay, this is my car. This is what I go to work in every day. And as in my last video, after a couple months, I realized in my life, I was literally waking up, I was going to work, I was coming home, basically going to sleep, and then I would wake up the next morning, go to work, and I'm not going to do that again because I probably annoyed you guys in the last video with it. But that was my life. And the phone, it was like, okay, this company cell phone, but then I'm like, all right, wait, phones don't even cost that much, so this is kind of in the way. And then it got to a point where I realized I started waking up and I was like, all right, I'm not in love with what I'm doing every day. So the question that you guys have been waiting to be answered: why did I want to leave corporate America? Why did I get unhappy? Some of the words that I got from family members: Devin, you're making all this money. What could you be unhappy about? Devin, you're still gonna be able to make your real estate dreams come true. Devin, you're able to buy property on the side. Can't you just wait a couple more years, stick it out, Devin? Da 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 da. So why did I leave? Number one, I realized that I wasn't in love with the industry that I was working in. I was working in the transportation industry, so I was working alongside trucks every day. And to be honest, I'm just not a trucking type of guy. As you know, I love cars. I love motorcycles. Those are things that I'm very passionate about, but there was just something about trucks that I just did not find interesting. You know what I mean? I just didn't like it. Like, I didn't like learning about the different parts on a truck. I didn't really like going out, walking around the trucks. I didn't find anything interesting. It's not like they were fast and, we raced the trucks. Like, it was nothing like that. Like, it was like, all right, this, what I'm doing every day and what I'm dealing with, this industry is just kind of dry to me. And I didn't feel like it had anything to do with what I really loved, right? I would wake up every day and not really feel a passion for what I was going to do, which was, sad. You know what I mean? Like, nobody ever should wake up every day and feel unhappy. And I know we talked about that kind of enough in the last video, but just to reiterate, you are unhappy doing what you're doing every day. You got to figure out a way to set up a plan to change that, because I was in your shoes. And if you saw my last video and you saw that video I made back in February, I was, stuck, but God helped me to make a plan to get out of that situation, and I'm now free. Like, I no longer am employed by that company because I was unhappy with the industry. And point number two, the reason why I left, this is something that I never really talked about too much internally, because it seems like a lot of times when it get brought up, nobody would put serious thought into it, or nobody would take it serious. But I didn't feel like I got the appreciation that I deserved. So I want you to think back to when you were in school. And if you were in school and you got a good grade on a test, sometimes your teacher would give you a pat on the back. Good job, Devin. Or, you get a, wow, man, you're doing really good. And I know what you're about to say. You're about to say, but Dad, you ain't in school no more, cuz. You a grown man. You out here in corporate America, man. It's the big boy world. And I'm going to tell you this. I don't care what world you think this is. First off, this is God's world. This is not the man's world. This is God's world. And God is all of our Father, right? When we do something good, when you do something good, God rewards you for that, right? It's simple principle. You can find it in the Bible, right? But I felt like in corporate, a lot of times I would do something good, and yes, I was rewarded well, guys. The pay was good. It wasn't great. It was good. It could have been better for the amount of work sometimes that I felt like I was doing. If, I'm just being honest. Like, I felt like I should have made more. And I know I keep referring to my $60,000 a year job, but my salary was not $60,000. My salary was under $50,000, but with commission, as well as my company car, company cell phone, and with the laptop that I was given, I estimate my total earnings to be around $60,000 a year. But I say that to say the appreciation just wasn't there for me. I came from a school experience, even at the university, professors were always kind of saying, oh man, you're doing so good, and this, that, and the other. And I felt like with the customers that I was working with, I got that. I had business owners telling me every day, Devin, never leave, dude. You saved my life so many times, Devin. You always have what I need when I need it. I can always depend on you. But then internally, I didn't really get that same love. Now, of course, from some management partners, I did. And, they would reach out and say, Devin, you're doing a good job. But it seems like for a lot of times, for my circle that I was dealing with on a regular basis, I never got the love that I felt like I deserved. My opinion is this: if you are a manager or if you employ people, you should make them feel like they are irreplaceable if they do an amazing job. Now, if your workers come in and suck, you don't need to make them feel special because they're not putting all they have into the job. But if you have somebody like me who fought through the battle of not really wanting to do that for a good amount of time in my role, but I still gave 100%. I still gave 100% and I still brought in quality customers until the time that I left my role. I feel like I deserve some appreciation because I have companies all the time recruiting me. We all have LinkedIn's, we all have Indeed.com, we all have companies every day trying to reach out to us, trying to persuade us to come to their companies. But, if we're getting the respect and if we're getting the appreciation that we deserve at the company that we're at, we shouldn't want to leave, right? So, reason number 2 was appreciation. I'm a guy that if I'm putting in my heart and soul, if I'm basically dedicating my life to you, I want you to appreciate it. And if you don't, I'm not going to want to be here, quite frankly. Like, I'm just not. Like, if I don't feel like you are showing me the love that I'm giving you, it's not a two-way street. And that's just not right. So, of course, that's probably something that goes on at every company. Appreciation is something that, is something that at a management level, that's a skill that a manager must learn. And me aspiring to be an entrepreneur, that's a skill that, okay, I saw that I didn't really get out of some of the management staff at the company that I was with, but carrying it into my own personal business and my own personal brand, I will be able to implement that better in my life from learning from that experience. So, as I said, industry, appreciation were the 2 reasons that really kind of threw me over the edge to not really falling in love with what I was doing every day. But I feel like God puts battles in people's lives not for regular reasons. Like, I don't feel like I went through this experience just to leave for that. Like, I feel like I went through this experience because, like I mentioned in the last video, and I know I keep referencing that, but so many people are unhappy with their jobs. I read an article somewhere and it says 70% of people wake up every day going to jobs that they hate. And if that is the case, you need to come up with a plan in order to get yourselves out of that situation. So whether that be trying to get rid of all the bad debt that you have, your car loans, your student loans, whatever the case, whether that be learning to invest in real estate so that you have real estate, houses, apartments, whatever the case, producing income for yourself, you have to have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, you will find yourself stuck. And there is nothing worse than waking up and going to a job every day that you are not fully in love with. And I can honestly say that I was not fully in love with what I was doing, and I had to come up with a plan, which meant I had to find a way to get into another property. And voila, God blessed me with this beautiful duplex. I had to network a little bit more. And you see, what I noticed is when you want to do better for yourself, God will put the pieces to the puzzle where they need to be. The pieces of the puzzle are already out. God will move them around as he sees you start moving around. So when I said, God, all right, I'm looking for property, I didn't see anything. But just when I was ready to give up looking for a property, boom, this duplex popped up. When I said, God, I don't know what else I could do, boom, God blesses somebody in my life that brings an opportunity to me. You know what I mean? So don't give up. It's not worth it. You don't have to. God has a way. You got to focus on the big picture. And the big picture is that if you are unhappy, you can get out of that situation, and you just have to be patient. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in this video. Those are the 2 reasons that I became upset. I became miserable. I became unhappy with my corporate America experience. Those are the reasons that led me to leaving my $60,000 a year corporate job. And yeah, like it just got to a point where it was like, look, I got to move on. Like, I got to do something different. I can't keep waking up every day feeling like this. So next video in this series, I'm going to talk about what it was like to be young and black in corporate America. And as you know, there are a lot of young people in corporate America because a lot of corporate companies like to hire students that are fresh out of college. But something that I didn't see too much in my corporate experience, or something that was very, small in number were the number of African Americans I work with. So stay tuned for that next video. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. We are bringing out real life stuff, guys. Like I want you to really see the inside of my life. I'm an open book. I feel like God puts me through experiences so that I can share the experiences with you, so that they can help you in your life. So that if you're battling something, or if your brother's battling something, or if your boyfriend is battling something, or if your uncle or your dad or your mom or your sister, whoever, you see people every day. So if you think this video would help them, share it with them. Thank you again for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram at @TheRealDevinClark to keep up with me there. And thank you again. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.